Steve, do you have anything new to tell us about yourself before the show?
I'm circumcised. I got my son circumcised. I'm not religious.
Goodbye, Mom!
No, what am I saying?
What, this? It's nothing. Really, it's nothing, Ed. It's just, it's just Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve.
We're about ready to get this bitch started.
We are? It's really going to happen?
Yeah, it's time. We need to do it to save the world.
I don't know if we're ready. I don't think I can do it.
I'm about to get real angry. We need to start the show.
I put all my faith in your offering.
Give me a countdown, please.
You heard him, Samuel. Do it now.
A 1, a 2,
a 1, 2, 3, 4.
We found the groove. Have a good time. Make sure your seatbelts are fastened.
Okay, you little bastards. The time has come. The moment we've all been waiting for. It's the Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve Alabruski. Let's go.
Hello. In an ever-changing world, you tune in to the Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve Alabruski, and suddenly 3 good pals, 3 good buddies appear. I mean, it's hard to make friends at this age. I don't know, 47, 48, 53. How many buddies do you have, right? I mean, come on.
It's on my goal for 2024 list. I told my ex-wife the other day, I'm looking for women and men this year. She was like, did you just come out? I'm like, looking for guy friends and women to date.
Right. Let's not jump to conclusions here, dude. Come on.
Then again, who knows? Nick knows. I've discovered a few transgendered women on my dating apps, and why not? I should reach out to everyone, shouldn't I?
Was that honest? I mean, was that honest? Honest to make yourself feel inclusive, or what are you considering?
No, I don't like that I was dubbed a dating racist previously because I only want to date white women. So I've got conversations going with every shade under the sun out there. Okay.
For the public or for yourself, though? That's what I'm wondering. Like, are you actually into it?
Now that I've announced it, I'm going to stop talking to all those people and just focus on white women. So,
speaking of, the trans folks on your dating app, the good thing about it these days is that, they look really like realistic, like real women, and you don't have to pretend that you get tricked or anything like that.
Right. Nick, I sent you a bikini picture of one of them. What'd you think? Doable?
Yeah. I mean, for me, I'm married. So, I mean,
that's an easy out. All right.
Listen, dude, you know what? I've told you guys before that when I was working with some a younger generation, that they were so much more open to it. And I don't know if it's just that bias that's put into my head of the way that I must think and must feel, but I don't feel like I'm attracted to it. But it seems like that has changed for a lot of the younger generation to be like, I don't care, trans. I mean, he's a woman now, so why would I care? You know what I mean? And I still have some hangups with it in my head, dude. I mean,
listen, the parts have to match. Just because they identify as a woman doesn't mean I get to play with the same parts as any other woman. So
what if the parts are all changed? I mean, what if they've had the surgeries and everything else?
They have a hole instead of a pole. Would I do it?
Yeah.
Well, maybe. I mean, I guess if the parts match up, then that's all I care about. It's all about finding the puzzle piece, Nick, emotionally and logistically. So
that's what I said at the beginning of the show, dude. It's an ever-changing world, and welcome to the Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve Alabruski. We have a webpage.
We do. It's thevocalminority.net. And social medias. Okay, let's see here. We have YouTube. We have Facebook. We have Instagram. We have TikTok, but of course, X. And new to the edition this week, gentlemen. We're now on Reddit.
Oh, nice, dude. That'll bring in some of the younger crowd.
I don't know. My son convinced me that we needed to be on Reddit, and I'm still trying to figure the app out. Like, we've got our own little page, but no one's going to find that. You got to promote yourself on other people's pages, basically.
You have to go into the subgroups. So you need to pick. You have to pick out the different subgroups, and then you go in and you post content. and then people will comment on it. Most people will start to tell you right away, you guys suck and all that sort of thing. But at least the name's out there.
Well, I've already gotten us banned from 2 of these subgroups. So
really? Which ones?
I don't know. I'm just searching like podcast and politics. And one of them is a podcast page, and I put our, video on there, and they banned us because we were promoting our podcast. Apparently you're just supposed to be talking about podcasts, not promoting your own.
They're probably it's probably like a one of those, like those old ham radio groups where they just go in and they start talking about equipment and
God forbid I promote a podcast on there.
What are you recording with these days? Well, I'm using this here
and I've also noticed a bunch of them don't allow you to post videos. Some don't even allow you to post pictures. Like, I'm just going to put text on there. That seems
well, I'll tell you what. Most of the Reddit groups that I'm a member of, there's a lot of pictures and videos. So.
I bet there are with the ones you're on. But yeah. And then I found let's see. Yeah, I found a few that were politics and podcasts that wouldn't let me post certain things. But so yeah, one of them banned us for promoting ourselves. And then I posted on some progressive liberal page, but apparently it's not about national politics. It's only about state and down ballot. So I posted an anti-Trump video and I got us banned immediately.
Oh, wow.
Fuck people. So I'm trying to figure out Reddit, but I'm told it's a good way to send us traffic.
The only thing I've ever gone to Reddit for is usually like dirty pictures and stuff like that.
There's a lot of really good ones there too.
Should I be worried that my 14-year-old is the one that promoted this to me? Hey, Reddit's the way to go.
Maybe. No. I mean, like Effie's into poon. Are you mad at that or?
No. Nor would I be shocked, surprised, or anything else. But why Reddit? Porn's everywhere.
Yeah, but like a lot of these pictures that Brewski's talking about, not safe for work, Jennifer Lawrence type stuff. You can find that kind of stuff on Reddit. There's this, I don't know if I should even talk about this. There's this girl on TikTok that is of age. I think she's 19 or 20 years old.
Okay,
but
barely.
Her and her dad for the last couple of years have done a podcast, all right? And I can't tell you the name, but he brings out a toaster or, a rotary phone and tries to get her to use it or tries to get her to look up something in an encyclopedia.
Where does the porn come in on this story?
So let's go 3 weeks ago. They're doing a podcast and she basically says like, look, I have something to talk to you about, Dad. And they have this whole conversation and she opens up to him and says that, she's going to start an OnlyFans page. And she feels like empowered to do it. And he basically, I don't know, dude. It was kind of creepy just because he was like, I give you my blessing as long as you're going to be safe. You respect yourself, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And I saw her OnlyFans debut. Somebody grabbed some screenshots and they were posted on Reddit.
Oh. I didn't know you were on Reddit and looking at all this stuff. So, yeah.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Is she a natural? I don't know. How do you
Look, she's an attractive girl, and I looked at 1 or 2 pictures and immediately felt like a creepy old man.
Why?
Because I had watched this young girl try to figure out rotary phones about a month ago, dude, and I don't know. It's just not for me, but she's attractive.
No. A rotary phone, you got to stick your finger in those little holes to make it work. So maybe her OnlyFans page is very similar.
It'd be one thing if her OnlyFans page was her doing age play or something like that. Then maybe I could see you feeling dirty. But
did you expect Brewski to push back at all on that?
Yeah, yes. Maybe just a tidge, but not really. Here's the thing, dude. You know what? You know why I feel dirty, Brewski, is because if I watch a 19 or 20-year-old girl doing porn, I've not heard her talk about anything else but sex. I know her, in quotes, as a person, and so it made me feel like I was looking at my niece or something.
Yeah, I could see that. The thing with me about 19 or 20-year-olds in porn is I don't know that for sure. Like, they're young, but they're of age, I assume. If they're on a credible website. I'm not looking at Reddit. I'm looking at XNXX, of course. But
right.
So, yeah, I don't really care. I'm not checking IDs, but I can see what you're saying. If you follow this woman in social media or podcasting, and now she's diddling herself or whatever. She's solo or is she taking on dudes?
She's solo, and let me tell you that the pictures I saw, first of all, they weren't even completely nude. It was her in lingerie, but she was, posing and stuff, and it was enough for me. But I think she goes further than that, Brisky. I'll send you.
You got to pay more for that.
I don't know how we're supposed to compete with porn on Reddit. I mean, at least TikTok and everything. We're not competing head to head with porn. But
that's why I feel like Brewski should just pull out his dick once in a while on this podcast, dude.
I can't believe I'm doing this with my pants off.
Oh, that's a good start, dude. Let's do it.
Yeah, whatever gets us traffic, I guess. So yeah, check us out on all the socials. And, maybe become an OnlyFans. Who knows?
I'm up for it. Why not?
Yeah, Brewski will sell his wiener.
Hot dogs! Get your hot dogs here. Long, plump wieners.
Long, plump wieners. All right. All right, shall we do some news, boys?
Yep, let's.
This is Need to Know News. News you need to know. Start the news chant, please. Come on. News, 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 news.
Steve Harness.
Oh, hello. That's right. Well, first of all, it's victory dance time. The Trump verdict came out this week. The first of many this year for us all to get to see how badly the legal system will bend this man over.
It was a good first one, right?
Yes. And speaking of our social media pages, I did one of these duet reaction videos to the news being announced, and I'm just so perplexed as to why thousands of people want to watch that, but they have. So go out there and check it out.
Yeah, they like to see it.
Yeah, especially YouTube. I find it hilarious, the comments on there, and I was poking at everyone. All of these Trumpers, I posted the video of me here in the studio. I was reacting to the verdict being announced, and all the headline was 83 million reasons to vote blue, no matter who, for all of our postings. And
that's right.
So many Trumpers jumped in there with, I'm still supporting Trump. I'm still going to vote for Trump. A, as if I expected to change their minds. But B, my comments back to almost all of them were, please do. Because if you idiots ran almost anyone but Trump, you'd probably beat Biden. So keep backing that losing horse, please.
Dude, you know what? I went on and watched the reaction video that you did, the YouTube video last night, and saw that there were so many comments on it. And I looked down and I pop them open, and I thought to myself, did you have time for anything else this weekend? I mean, you commented a lot on you really were going back and forth, and they weren't long, posts, but like you were really mining the store.
Yeah, I mean, it's poking the bear to get us more views and to get people pissed off and all that stuff. But it's so easy to argue right now with these people. And he's never going to pay any of that money. Like, oh, yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is, actually. Yeah. If he wants to appeal it, he actually has to put up the whole $83 million in an escrow account.
Yeah. I read that this week, too. I didn't know that. So, yeah, if he wants to appeal it, which, of course, he will, yeah, it's like, if you file for an extension on your taxes, you still have to pay your taxes now. And then if the extension comes back more or less, you can adjust. So same thing for Trump. He's got to fork over $83 million into some trust account and then wait for this appeals process, which he's going to lose because he's a loser.
I've got some audio if you want to hear it about Anderson Cooper sat down with E.G. and Carrol's attorney and asked her just a few questions. First of all, about the verdict,
We were very happy with the punitive damages award.
Why do you think they were so high? Because of his behavior?
Yeah. The law of punitive damages, a jury is allowed to and actually should consider what it will take, what monetary amount it will take to get the person to stop.
So the idea with the jury was it's going to take a big number to get this guy to stop.
Exactly. That all he really understands is money. And so you should award an amount of money that will make him stop. Whether that will succeed, I don't know. I sure hope it will.
If he continues to defame her, is it potential there's another case?
I'm too good of a lawyer to tell you that, but everything's on the table.
Yeah, of course the answer is yes.
Yeah, $83 million if we didn't mention it. I mean, that's not chump change to anyone, right?
No, and it's so funny that they were basically asking for like $10 million, right? And then the jury gave them so much more, and the lawyer's exactly right. It's supposed to be an amount of money that would, in theory, stop somebody from doing it. And Trump showing up at the court like he did and huffing and puffing and storming out and having comments stricken from the record when he testified for like 30 seconds. I mean, he just made it all worse for himself.
Yes. Oh, can you imagine having him as a client? I mean, my God, that would be a nightmare.
I almost feel bad for his insanely hot lawyer, but she screwed herself on that. And I hope she doesn't think she's getting paid.
The parking lot lawyer?
Why do you call her that?
Yes.
Because that's what she did for law. That was her law specialty before Trump hired her.
Yeah, just parking lots.
Yeah, she did parking lots and I believe taxi medallions and stuff like that. There's a lot of legal things you have to do to get this stuff done, especially in New York City.
So many articles were talking about, like, what happened to Trump's legal team? Like, that he has a parking lot lawyer now defending him. And you're right. I mean, the only reason she's there is because she's hot.
Yeah, I was going to say, was she the only lawyer that would work with him, or because Trump likes attractive women? Because she is
maybe both.
Little of this, little of that. You know.
Yeah, think about how many people he's stiffed, how many lawyers he's stiffed.
Oh, yeah.
I know he's hoping to stiff her, but I don't think that's happening.
Right.
I don't think so.
The other common thread I saw in these, posts and comments on our stuff was that this is somehow Biden's fault, that this is somehow the Department of Justice or something, which
it's a witch hunt.
It's a civil lawsuit. It's got nothing to do with any government agency other than the judge you're sitting in front of and making yourself look dumb.
I don't think that they care or realize the difference. It's just all one big witch hunt.
Yeah, and a bunch were saying the judge is corrupt. Like, sorry, it's a jury trial. It's a jury of his peers. It's how we're set up.
You guys are talking about an appeal. Anderson did ask her attorney about a possibility of an appeal.
What is the likelihood this ruling will stand, or that the damages will stand?
Very, very high. We had one of the most well-respected judges in New York City, Judge Kaplan, no relation. The jury was great. And all the tough legal issues in the case have already been dealt with. The issue about what he said when he was president has been dealt with under the Westfall Act. The issue about him waiving presidential immunity has been dealt with already by the Second Circuit. So there's not really much left for them to appeal.
No. And by the way, this was not about his innocence. It was about just how much money does he owe this woman. We already determined he's guilty.
Yeah, that was done a long time ago.
So great.
Well, here's another disgusting argument that I'm seeing online, and actually that some people are even saying on Fox News. When they're talking about what Trump did to E. Jean Carroll, they said it was sexual assault. It wasn't rape, as if sexual assault is better.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or it's not as bad. That's what they're saying now.
Yeah, one of our comments, I think it was on TikTok, somebody said, what did Trump do to deserve this? And I replied back, sexual assault followed by slander and defamation. Like, that's what he did.
Those are the facts, dude. You can't do that. I don't know if you're aware, but that's illegal.
Well,
Right.
and then one of Trump's attorneys, not Haba, but the guy, Mode or something like that, he was asking the judge, do we really have to say that President Trump inserted his fingers into her vagina? Can't we just say that, something occurred and keep it ambiguous?
He diddled the doorbell. Can't we use that, Your Honor?
Why do we have to, say to the jury that he inserted his fingers into her vagina? It seems so graphic.
It is. Well, it happened, and it is graphic. Come on.
Sexual assault's pretty graphic. Sorry, Judge.
You heard that there was audio released of him actually in that dressing room with her.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we got the exclusive for sure.
Right. You can do it, baby. I love you so much. And it's bad news. Bad things are happening. Mom, I'm sorry. Mom, I didn't do it.
He knew it was bad while he was doing it. He said, bad things are happening. Come on.
You apologize to your mom midway through. That's pretty much an admission of guilt right there, worthy of $83 million.
Yes, dude. Come on.
Do you have any other audio? Because I have a follow-up point to all of this.
Go for it.
This, in some ways, is all fun and good, that we're making fun of Trump for getting bent over after he sexually assaulted a woman, which is obviously no joking matter. I'm so glad that he lost epically. But there's a very serious note that I think a lot of people kind of glazed over. I've seen a media outlet or two now pointing it out, and we're going to join in on that. Former federal prosecutor Andrew Weissman highlighted what he described as a remarkable moment during the conclusion of this trial. I don't know if you guys picked up on this, but the judge warned the jurors against revealing that they had been part of this case.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Why would a judge ever say that? This, Weissman said that the last time I was in a courtroom where a judge said something like that to a jury, it was for the Giavisi family, an organized mob family, like the judge was warning. Genovese, yeah. I don't want to say it wrong. Please forgive me.
No, the Genovese crime family. They're a New York City family. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So the only other time
from horse heads, dude. I mean, that's what it is.
Right, and Trump basically is running a organized crime ring. He's being brought up on RICO charges, and down in Georgia and whatnot. And yeah, that's a really serious thing for a judge to say. Much like as if you were testifying against Tony Soprano, I would not tell anyone that you were on this jury because he knows they're going to be harassed, death threats, swatting. Did you guys see that Nikki Haley got swatted this past week?
It's unbelievable. I got a story coming up about that, but it is unbelievable what's happening.
The White House had a swatting attempt a couple of weeks ago. I mean, and for anyone who doesn't know what swatting is, it's when you phone in a epically dangerous, threat to the police saying like there's an active shooter at this address or a bomb's going to go off. So they show up with the full SWAT team and bust on in the house.
Well, that's what my story was about, dude. I just told you I had a story about it.
Well, I'm just defining the term. They can listen more for the full details of your story later on.
Off the table. It's done. It's off.
All right, wrap the show up. We're done. But yeah, when I heard the judge say that the other day, I immediately thought, like, boy, that's really rare that a judge would say something like that. But of course, the judge himself is getting death threats. His clerk is. Everyone is.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, from politicians to jury members to judges, it's crazy, dude, that this is happening.
And this is just a warm-up for 2024. This is a civil case. He was never going to go to jail for it, but, $83 million is a nice slap on the wrist. And I think maybe 6-7 months from now, we're going to think that this was the laughable of the verdicts. That, compared to the jail sentences he's looking at, $83 million seems like a walk in the park.
You mean these are going to be the good old days?
Right.
I don't know if you guys saw it, but E.G. Carrol was interviewed by the BBC, and she said, quote, she plans to spend some of the $83.3 million won in her defamation case against ex-President Donald Trump on something he hates. She said she had been terrified to face Mr. Trump at court, but that her fear melted away when she saw him. Mr. Trump was found to have defamed her, obviously, and for all the sexual assault. She said, because of all this, and I got the money, I would like to spend the money or give the money to something that Donald Trump hates. If it will cause him pain for me to give money to certain things, that is my intent.
Well, I assume he hates this show, Eugene, so
yeah,
feel free.
Step it up. We love you.
Well, that'd be great. You should buy him like $1 million worth of Depends because he needs them. So send them on down.
We don't want to help him, dude. We don't want to help him crap his pants.
Yeah, he's been shitting his pants since that verdict was announced.
Yes. Yeah, and you know what happens if you think that's funny, right?
And keep laughing. Keep laughing. Real funny, huh? If any one of you that doesn't respect me, you'd have a big dump in your pants.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you this.
We interrupt our program to bring you a special.
Here is a news bulletin.
We interrupt this program to bring you
the humanity and all the things. A date which will live in infamy. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
Need to know news.
I said, oh Lord Jesus, it's a fire.
News you need to know.
I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Oh. We don't have time for that. We're in the middle of need to know news you need to know. Here's one that we all need to know, boys. When we saw the fall of Roe v. Wade, we knew shit was going to hit the fan, that it was going to be a terrible country to live in for a while until this, was reinstated.
Yeah,
so let's
shit'll hit the fan and other things will hit the coat hanger.
That's right. Dangerously so. And then some people will just deal with this, and then we will have unwanted children that the Republicans no longer wish to take care of after they're out of the birth canal. But
so pro-life.
This story out of USA Today, tens of thousands of rape victims have become pregnant in states with abortion bans. This study is unbelievable. Researchers estimate that there may have been more than 64,500 pregnancies resulting from rape in the 14 states that have enacted near total abortion bans since Roe v. Wade was overturned in 2022. According to a research letter recently published in Journal of Internal Medicine, they found the number of abortions fell to nearly zero in states with restricted bans, which indicates people who were raped and became pregnant couldn't access abortions in their home state, even when there is an exception for rape written into the bill. According to the study done by researchers from Planned Parenthood in Montana, Hunter College in New York, Cambridge Health Alliance in Massachusetts, and the University of California, San Fran. These are people who have really experienced a very traumatic event, said study co-author Carrie White. Not only have they lost their own reproductive autonomy as a result, but that's now being further undermined by the policies in place in their state that are really now making it difficult for them to make their own personal decisions about and determine the trajectory of their lives following a rape. 64,000. I mean, it seems like Roe v. Wade, well, to me, a male who doesn't require the services, it seems like it was just yesterday that this bad boy was overturned. And I mean, kind of was 2022, dude. It wasn't that long ago. 64,500. That is just people who couldn't have access to abortion after a rape. That is sickening.
That blows my mind. Because, yeah, you were talking about a year and a half, basically, worth of Roe v. Wade being overturned. If you asked me to guess how many, women in an average year get raped and impregnated, I would have guessed hundreds at the most. I mean, maybe 1,000 or two. You're telling me 64,000 women have been raped? Not only raped, but raped and impregnated. So that means the rape number must be significantly higher.
Well, that's not even in the country. That is in the states only that have banned abortion.
Fuck, man. I mean,
that's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
That is an inconceivable number to me.
Yes. And I mean, we hear all the time that, like, after the Me Too movement came out, people felt emboldened, empowered to speak on some of the things that had happened to them that they had been silent about before.
Yeah.
We found out that, I don't know what the actual number is, so I don't want to say it, but it's something astonishing. Like 7 in 10 women have been assaulted.
Yeah.
That's crazy shit, dude.
Yeah. Just based on my dating history, I can tell you that a disturbing number of women have had some sort of sexual assault, molestation. I mean, what the hell? Guys, just stop it. I mean, you are ruining these women's lives. It's a permanent ripple through their entire life.
What you do, and yes, that's a great point, Stephen. It is a ripple because you ruin their lives, and then when they go on to try and live a normal life and have other relationships, it affects the partner in their relationships. It may affect their kids, for crying out loud. This is a ripple. You're right.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I don't know, dude. I don't know what to do about it. Like I said, hopefully we're going to see this Roe v. Wade reinstated. The only thing that I personally have been able to think of doing and have done, what's it called?
Donor?
Yep, donor.
Donating sperm? What are you donating?
I donate money to Planned Parenthood, okay?
Absolutely.
After Roe v. Wade was off the table,
does me going there for STD test, does that count as donating to them? I mean, I'm giving them money.
I don't think so. You're not giving them money, dude. You're not paying for it. It's Planned Parenthood.
There's a margin in there. They got a profit somewhere in there, don't they?
Listen, they called me right after Roe v. Wade was turned and asked, "Hey, can you up your donation monthly?" Because I've given to them monthly. Nothing big. I think I was given like $15 before, and I said, "What are you looking for?" They said, "If you could give $25 a month rather than the 15." The work that we're going to be able to keep doing during all of this for other states is a lot. So another $10.
Here's what Planned Parenthood should be doing in all of those states. Take Nick's money and everyone else's and buy these people plane tickets, bus tickets to get the fuck out of that state.
Well, we saw a girl in Florida, dude, that needed to have an abortion because she was going to die.
Well, Texas.
Yes.
Texas.
Yes. Yeah. What did I say?
You said Florida, but same thing. Texas,
thing.
Florida, right. They're all backwater.
They're all dangling off the bottom of the country and should just float away. So yes.
It's a lady who was going to die giving birth to a child, and they wouldn't let her leave the state and said if she did, she'd be arrested and jailed.
I don't mean leave the state to go get an abortion. I just mean leave the state.
For good, yeah. Say goodbye to Texas. Say goodbye to Florida. Say goodbye to any of these states that are not letting you have control of your body, for crying out loud.
I mean, seriously, it cripples the state to have less people in it for every reason, but not the least of which is voting power. So, yeah, get the hell out of there, man. I don't know why all the blue states aren't just beaming with newcomers.
Well, when the vocal minority says vote blue no matter who, this is another thing to keep in mind. Everyone has a woman they love in their life, whether it's a wife, sister, mother, or niece, you know. So this is going to affect all of them. It's something to keep in mind.
This is Need to Know News. News you need to know.
It's time for another brewski. This one is a crazy brewski.
Excuse me.
Well, so guys, we've had a discussion in the past about AI. We've talked about how it's affecting our lives.
Right.
Some people will tell you that it affects people in positive ways. Other people will tell you it affects in negative ways. Harvey Murphy Jr. of California.
What happened to Harv, dude?
A 61-year-old man living in California said he was wrongly accused of robbing a sunglass hut in Texas, arrested, and then sexually assaulted by inmates after facial recognition software falsely identified him as a suspect.
Yes. This has been happening more and more. There was some national drug chain. I shouldn't say the wrong name, but it was one of the national drug chains that they have been kicking people out of the store because their AI is telling them that these people are either convicted shoplifters or they are shoplifting, and they're, profiling basically.
Wow.
And someone went back and audited all these tapes, and 99% of them were wrong. So this national pharmacy chain, A, had to stop using the technology, but B, had to apologize and I think even compensate some of these people.
This guy got put in the slammer and was raped?
Exactly. So here's the thing. The robbery occurred in Houston, Texas. This man lives in California and was in California when the robbery actually happened. The head of loss prevention for Sunglass Hut said that this guy had robbed the store before. And on top of that, when the police talked to the Sunglass Hut staffer,
right,
she did say, oh, that's the guy that robbed the store. Yes, but only after the head of loss prevention went and sat down and primed her to tell her what to say, because they didn't want to say we made a mistake.
Yeah.
It says here, a few hours before Murphy was to be released from jail, he was followed into the bathroom by 3 violent criminals. The lawsuit says he was beaten, forced to the ground, and brutally raped.
This is what happens when you throw people in jail. Bad things happen in there. So if they're not deserving of it, then, you definitely got some lawsuits on your hands.
Yeah,
they'll pay.
Well, he actually has a lawsuit asking $10 million in damages.
That might be worth a little forced sodomy. I don't know.
No, wow, you can't say that, Steve. You can't say that.
I did.
Forced sodomy?
For $10 million?
Forced?
Well, volunteer sodomy is not worth anything. Maybe dinner in a movie, but I'm just saying, forced sodomy, $10 million. That's it's tempting. Come on, seriously. If I said I'm going to pay some guy to rape you, and I'm going to give you $10 million, would you do it?
No, I wouldn't even think
$10 million?
Steve, you just talked about women who've gotten sexually assaulted and the ripple that it puts into their lives going forward.
Most of them don't get $10 million though to help.
I get that, but the money isn't going to take away what I mean. And we're not talking about you laying down and some guy just doing his thing. We're talking about someone throwing you down and beating you, and then just having his way with you. That's much different.
I get it, but the $10 million is obviously in some universe justified compensation for it. So I'm just saying, would you really not let someone assault you if you could get $10 million for it?
I would almost guarantee, I would almost Nick Reynolds promise and guarantee that if you asked 10 women who had been violently assaulted and raped, if they would do it for if $10 million would make it all okay, none of them would say, I wouldn't, no, I would never have it happen to me. I would have never taken that $10 million. No way would they do that, dude.
Now, if you want to put me in the ring with Mike Tyson and offer me $10 million to let him knock me out and punch me, no, that I can deal with.
Sure.
Yes. What about Brad Pitt, Brewski? If Brad Pitt was going to rape you and give you $10 million, what do you think?
Brad Pitt
No,
couldn't
because
rape him.
I told you, I want him to kiss me, yes, but that's it. We can't go any further than that.
I can't think of anything I wouldn't let happen to me for $10 million.
I'm a nice guy. I'm a nice boy.
Right. You are a nice boy, Brewski. Think about this, Stephen.
Yeah.
Think about the stuff that you have had in your life that has put you in therapy and screwed you.
Yeah.
And think about how trivial it may be compared to a violent rape.
I'm just saying $10 million would solve every other problem in my universe.
No, dude, wouldn't.
Here's a recent question about
it definitely would.
Here we go, Steve. Yeah. You just recently had surgery on that particular area.
Sure.
Okay.
And I pay thousands for it. I mean, geez,
okay, but
the other way around, I'd do it every week.
Okay, but think about this though. That was somebody that was a trained surgeon that did what they did to you. This is somebody haphazardly, without lube or something like that, jamming himself in there and tearing you up.
Yeah,
that's a lot of pain, dude. That's a lot of pain.
We call that Brewski. We call that
tremendous play by Brewski.
Yes. It took me 30 days and I recovered and no one gave me any money. I mean, I'm just saying, I would let somebody beat me within an inch of my life for $10 million. I'm not trivializing rape. I'm just saying that a $10 million settlement for the guy, that's a pretty goddamn good settlement. I think that
that's what he's suing for. I mean, we don't know. The jury could come back and say, okay, we'll give him $1 million, because you never know with juries. I mean, hell, in our first story, I mean, there's no way E.G. and Carrol's lawyers thought that she was going to get $83 million from Trump.
How do you think she's feeling right now? Probably a little better, right? I mean, $83 million.
She's feeling better. Different. She's had decades to heal from this and everything else. As a father, you would take $10 million to be beaten within an inch of your life.
Yes. Do you know what good I could do with $10 million for my kids?
Yeah, that's if you make it. I mean, mistakes happen, dude.
Well, the rule I just said was within an inch of my life, not
all right. So what?
Not all the way. Exactly.
Are you in a wheelchair now? Can you not walk? Are you can you still speak? I mean, you're within an inch of your life. A lot of things happen.
I'll need 20 mil to not walk.
Oh, dude, I think you're making.
Yeah, I think what Steve's talking about is
he's having fun, Brewski. He doesn't.
I think I'm dirt broke right now, and the idea of $10 million for anything, I can't imagine what I would turn $10 million down for.
Oh, good for you, dude. I mean, that's good for you. I don't know what to say to that.
I've apparently hit a moral low ground with everyone today.
Okay, so would you change Trump's diaper?
Yeah,
on your knees, so that you get the full view right there in front of you, and you got to lift the legs up, and you got to get in there and wipe and everything.
How many diapers I've changed in my life? Trump's for $10 million? Yeah, I'll do that.
That's completely different. This is Trump we're talking about.
to be real honest with you, I think I'd do that for free, dude, just to be able to say I did. Hey guys, I did it. It's true. He craps his pants.
That's a lot of Coke and McDonald's that you're cleaning up right there.
Listen, I will just echo Pete Davidson. He's got a funny stand-up bit about how when he was in high school, it would be like, would you blow a guy for $1 million? No, man, I'd take $10 million. I would take $1 billion. He's like, now that I'm an adult and I have bills to pay, $5,000. I think I'd blow a guy for $5,000.
He also said in that bit, he said, when it was different in high school, I didn't have to pay $1 million to blow a guy. My mom was already doing that for me.
Exactly. And the bills are paid.
Dude, that's one thing. I agree with that. It would cost me a lot less to blow a guy now than it would have when I was in high school, but it's me doing it. I don't want to be sexually assaulted, dude. I wouldn't for any amount of money. I just wouldn't.
Now, I don't want to be sexually assaulted, but if there's a guaranteed $10 million payday, I'll take one for the team.
No team, dude. This is you solo. I'm not any.
Well, you don't think you're getting any of the money? I'll sprinkle it around. I'll certainly get new studios for us. Promote this thing. I'll parlay that $10 million into $100 million. I mean, I'm a businessman. Okay,
he'll sprinkle it around.
Right.
No, Steve, is it? It's on the table. Then $10 million.
The people you love, baby.
Right. And Steve will let you anally violate him. Is there anything else you want to share with the audience, Steve?
I'm circumcised. I got my son circumcised. I'm not religious.
Oh, well, that seems important.
You just wait for my lawsuit.
Need to know you. News you need to know.
Steve.
All right. Well, as long as I'm bringing up quoting people out of context, I think Carrie Lake from Arizona is, she must be a listener of our show because she's taking notes. Arizona GOP chairman resigns after release of leaked Carrie Lake audio. The chairman of the Arizona Republican Party resigned earlier this week after the release of secret tapes purporting to show the GOP Senate hopeful Carrie Lake, who failed for her gubernatorial run, was pressured by the state's Republican Party to stay out of politics. So the basic assertion here is Carrie Lake and this head of the GOP there, in Arizona, that he told her off the record the correct thing, that you lost. Stop saying the election was rigged. Move on with your life. Once you've lost, we're done with you, like Democrats have done with Hillary Clinton or any other number of people. You've lost. Move on.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying. I was basically telling her. This was a private conversation that Carrie Lake recorded against his knowledge and has now released excerpts of it. But the guy is saying she has edited out of context. She did not release the entire conversation. She took select sentences and released them to the public, which is illegal and completely disingenuous.
It's real dangerous. I mean, I feel bad for the dude only because, like, well, when we used to have people come in and view the radio station, when we worked in radio, here are these people that come in and they see a thing called a Vox Pro. In like 1997, this was a big deal because we could edit digital audio for the first time. But people would come in. My point is that I could have them say something into the microphone like, I didn't steal from the grocery store last night. And in 3 seconds, I can make them say, I did steal from the grocery store last night. Right. And their faces were just amazed, like, oh my gosh. And this is what's happening when not only Carrie Lake, but the media is doing this. Fox News does this constantly, where they edit out of context. And I'm not even leaving the Democrats out of it. Like, every media organization really has a problem with this right now, where even if they're not editing out of context, they're not playing the setup or the follow to really let you know what was said.
Yeah, I mean, this is basically another version of deepfakes, which are AI generated, a fake quote from Obama or a fake picture of Trump or whatever it is. This is old school. That I think Nick was one of the original pioneers of basically just, editing people out of context and setting them up. And so, Carrie Lake, if you're in the right, you don't have to be in the wrong like this. Like, you wouldn't have to trick someone into saying these. And it's so classic when you're recording someone out of context like that to rehearse your responses and goat them on and to make sure you're sounding good because you're recording it. Yes. And it's why it's illegal. I don't know why she's not being sued, prosecuted, or anything else. But, if you're the real deal, you don't need to fake stuff.
That's right, Steve. Even if she were to put out certain clips she wanted you to hear, she would release the unedited tape with it if there was nothing to hide.
Yeah, on a similar topic, I guess, to this deep fake stuff, Brewski is our expert on celebrity nudes. Have you seen any of the Taylor Swift deep fakes going around?
No, I told you, I don't like the fakes.
Steve, he told you. Come on.
But have you seen them? I'm not saying did you seek them out. I'm saying have you seen them?
No, I haven't. But I also wouldn't really be looking for them or...
well, they were all over Twitter, and I know you're on Twitter. Or X, sorry.
Yeah, I have not seen them, no.
Tell me about them. I haven't seen it either.
I haven't either. I've been on Twitter, and I see they have them all fuzzed out now, and you have to click to see them, and I have not, because I already know they're fake. And, I mean, I feel bad for celebrities in some level, especially somebody like Taylor Swift, who has so many teenage fans and whatnot, that, they're fake, but by the time anyone realizes they're fake, they've been circulated the world over, and Musk is doing nothing to try to help stop it. I mean, he let it run wild before they finally started to clamp down on some of these things. But now Democrats are urging action after fakes. The deep fake sexually explicit Taylor Swift images have gone viral. Let's see. Representative Yvette Clarke, Democrat from New York, Thursday blasted the online circulation of sexually explicit images of Taylor Swift. What happened to Taylor Swift is nothing new. This is an issue both sides of the aisle and even Swifties should be able to come together to solve. It's kind of funny to bring the Swifties in, but it's really true. This is happening to Trump. It's happening to Biden. It's happening to everyone. And the ones that don't want to stop it, Dems are stepping up right now saying we should be passing laws to stop this. You got to wonder why the other side is not stepping up.
Yeah, it's a deep fake. Yeah, it's not me, I swear.
Well, they know there's nothing Trump can say that someone would disown him over, but they don't know that they know the opposite's true for Biden or Kamala Harris or, Nancy Pelosi. Like, they know that if those things do circulate, that us rational people might actually hold it against them until we know it's fake.
Totally. Taylor Swift, dude, I mean, she's just tearing it up as of late. I think she's the most famous person on the planet right now. And I see Brewski grimacing already. And I know you don't like her, do you?
I'm not a fan of her particular music, but her personally, I just, whatever,
Yeah, okay. So it was funny, dude, on Dakota
Johnson
did SNL this weekend, right?
Yeah.
She's the girl from 50 Shades of Grey, if you don't know, because I didn't know by name.
And Don Johnson's daughter for Miami Vice fame.
That's right. But she did her opening monologue where she had been there before hosting the show, and she showed this picture of her and how many famous people were behind her in the audience. And she made this gaffe of there was a picture, Donald Trump was right behind her. And she was like, I didn't even know the most powerful person in the world was sitting right behind me. And the camera panned down to Taylor Swift, who was sitting in front of her. Donald Trump's pissed about it, of course. But I saw, for all the Swifties out there, this is we talked about, is it a cult? Is it a mob? Is it just a fan group? I mean, I'll leave it up for you to decide. But I saw a husband doing a presentation this morning for his wife and 5 of her friends, all Swifties, and they were watching the game and realized Taylor Swift will be at the Super Bowl. Well, he pulls up her tour schedule, and she's going to be in Japan the day before the Super Bowl.
16 hours before, yeah.
Yeah, 16 hours before. So he's doing the math of how time works from Japan and lets them know that, yes, she technically could make it to the Super Bowl without issue.
Well, her people have already confirmed that she will be at the Super Bowl because she's actually flying on her private jet to Vegas. Now, it's a good thing that you mentioned that, because I was going to share a little bit of information on that, is that she's actually gotten Fox News to actually care about climate change, because they're already complaining about how much the emissions from her plane is going to put out going from Japan to Las Vegas for her to go to the Super Bowl and show up there and that sort of thing. They're like, do you know the damage that's going to do to our planet?
It's Suitgate all over again, the things that they report on when they do this.
But what I'm saying, though, is that it goes to what you're saying about the power, because now you've got these people who have been denying global warming for how long? Yeah. And now all of a sudden they're concerned about the environment because of this.
I was thinking about this earlier. I've realized there's a way to manipulate these deep fakes in a much more sinister sort of way. Let's just say, recently we talked about the fact that there are pictures circulating the internet of Donald Trump on Epstein's plane with a bunch of underage women around him, and they're fake images.
Right.
But let's just say that image was real, and you take that image and you change it enough so that it will flag as being a doctored photo, AI generated. Then you can run around and say, no, those pictures you see of Trump with the underage women, those are fake. It's been proven. Even though it's a real picture that somebody intentionally altered enough to trigger it as being fake so that they could discredit the real one. If you then go to Snopes and go image of Donald Trump on a plane with underage women, it's going to come up as fake. So you're going to go, oh, okay, that's a fake picture. You would never realize, no, there's an original that was real, that was then doctored, that is now being flagged as fake. This is a complicated web out there with all of this.
Yeah.
And like I've said, by the way, celebrity porn, if it is fake, I don't know if I care. When I see Scarlett Johansson in a Marvel movie, I know it's fake, but I still think she looks awesome. So if I have some celebrity crush in a deep fake porn, what do I know if it's real or not? What do I care? All I know is Jennifer Aniston blowing 3 guys.
I know, but it's not fair to her, dude.
It's not. But I'm just saying, to me, everything on film is fake to some extent.
But this is different, dude. Sexual assault is different. Nude without wanting to, even if it's not your body, it shows your face, and people think they're jerking. It's Jen Aniston, like you said. It's not right, dude. It's not. And you are perpetuating this issue when you go look at it.
First of all, I don't, but I also haven't tried. Maybe I should. I'm just saying. Yeah, they should be taken down and whatnot, but
in the meantime,
surface sort of level, all images are fake that we see, in movies and TV and stuff. They're all doctored, photoshopped, and some of them are just straight up CGI fake. So if you're just a guy looking for a visual, doesn't matter if it's Jennifer Aniston or a woman that had her same facial shape and they put her face. I'm like,
You really just don't care, dude. I think you're losing your soul, dude. Are you losing part of your soul?
I'm saying to take it down. It's not fair to Jennifer Aniston.
I know, but in the meantime,
all images are fake. So
right, yeah, that's your justification. We're on the search for Harness's soul.
This is Need to Know News. News you need to know.
Hello, Americans. This is Paul Harvey. Stand by for news.
That is news we need to know, dude. We got to find your soul, dude. What has happened to you?
Not sure.
Are you horny today?
Yes. Is it a day of the week that ends in Y? Then yes. Yes, I am.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm just zooming out on some of this stuff. That's all. I'm just saying everything's fake. Does it really matter when it comes to entertainment if it's real or not? Of course it's wrong to do it in a Marvel movie if it's not authorized, or in a porn if it's not authorized. But I'm just saying, zoom out. Every movie you watch is fake, but you still enjoy it.
All right.
Enough said. For legal reasons, enough said.
Enough said.
Enough said.
All right. Listen, let me tell you a few things that I would like for you to know. One being, you know that Nikki tunes into Fox News every now and again just to watch the enemy, make sure things are on the up and up. And never do I find things are on the up and up at Fox News. But this next clip that you're going to hear surprises me.
I found very interesting reporting we're getting today that Donald Trump and his allies are pressuring Republicans in Congress not to come to some sort of compromise on the border and immigration. We actually know that they're getting pretty close. Senators from both parties are working very hard here. Yesterday, Mitch McConnell told the Republican caucus that they're in a tough position because Trump doesn't actually want Biden to be able to, quote, get a win on this by signing something, even though signing that piece of bipartisan legislation would help with the border. Wouldn't fix it, but it would help. But there are a lot of Republicans who believe that this compromise, Democrats control the Senate and Republicans control the House. We have to compromise. They are close. Donald Trump is telling his allies not to vote for it so he can run on it in November. That, to me, is dereliction of duty.
Yeah.
Wow, dude. I mean,
it must be hard to be the voice of reason on Fox News.
That's unbelievable, dude, that there's, even reporting on that, because everything she said is absolutely true. And Donald Trump is talking about, not wanting them. Who's Mike?
Mike Johnson.
Mike Johnson. They're good friends now. Don't pass this. I would like to run on how bad the border is, and then I want to fix it.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of like Trump hoping the economy, crashes this year. I mean, how unpatriotic, how selfish of a human. But of course, his followers don't care. What they're upset about is that this story made it into the light of day. Because now, if they don't vote for it, Biden can say, like, you all did it to derail. You say you want to help at the border, but you had a chance and you didn't. And, Biden, I don't know if he's being serious or not, but his quote from the last day or so was, I will shut down that border if you people all vote for this.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know that that'll happen. I don't know if he will for a day, maybe, but.
Well, I don't know. I don't think he literally means no immigration coming in or out, but he just means he's going to clamp way down. And Trump doesn't want him to have any wins. So he's running around to his cronies trying to sabotage our country. And none of these Trumpers who claim to be so patriotic care at all about it, because they want the same thing. They will shoot you in the face to give them something that is a semblance of a win.
Yes, for sure. And,
pretty much, yeah.
That's why he's so dangerous. Vote blue no matter who. Cognitive testing for Donald Trump is back in the news, and he was at a rally talking about how well he does on the test because he took another one. People are talking about his cognitive decline, and this is reminiscent from, man, person, camera, TV. You remember that whole thing?
Yes. We looked around the room.
Yeah, right. He's taking another test. He's going to tell you what he had to do on it and what you wouldn't be able to do on it.
I said, is it tough? He said, yeah, it's a tough test. The first couple of questions are easy, like they'll have a lion, a giraffe, a whale, and a shark. And they'll say, which one's the lion, okay? And that's all the press covered, the first question. They didn't cover the last question. Multiply 4,733. Multiply times 7. Divide, without paper and pencil, by the way.
Bullshit.
Divided by 4. Add up another 37.5. I remember that. And what's your number? How many people in this room could do it? Not too many. Or they give you 6 names in a row. I took a lot of heat on this. They give you 6 names in a row at the beginning. Sir, I'm going to give you 6 names.
Sir.
Good. They look at them. A chair, a hat, a badge, a necklace, and they vote. Those things. We're going to give you 6 things. And I say, good, what's going on? Can you rename them? So I name them. Then they go back, and if you can do it in order, that's even better. I do them in order? Perfect. Then they come back to you 30 minutes later at the end, last question. They say, what were those 6 things? That there aren't too many people. And they laughed. Everyone said, oh, that's so easy. There's only about 2% of this room can do it, but I did it. I did it very easily. But I got mocked. They said, oh, that's so easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. Go home and try doing it, okay?
You dumb motherfuckers.
Baloney.
You could do it. I did it.
Baloney that he took another test. Baloney it took 30 minutes. Baloney there was advanced math and multiplication and division on it. That's not a cognitive test. He is such a fucking liar.
0.5. I remember it. I remember 0.5. I remember that. Donald Trump has been obviously talking about Civil War. He always brings up Lincoln, and he said this at that same rally. This was his speaking engagement right after he was, had to give E. Jean Carroll 83.3 million.
They say the president that was treated the worst was Abraham Lincoln, but he had the Civil War, so he had a little Civil War going. Abraham Lincoln. And Jackson was treated very badly, and a couple of others were treated. And I haven't seen the new list, but if I'm not number 1 over Abraham Lincoln, I will be very disappointed.
It's not a Forbes list, dude. We don't make new lists with this.
Say, who's making lists? And if I'm not treated worse than the guy that got shot in the face, then I'm going to say it's
back of the head. Back of the head.
Yeah, he still got shot in the face, right? I mean, it came through, but
Oh my gosh!
I actually would argue he's been treated with kid gloves.
Yes.
And by the way, on your fictitious list of the people that have been ranked to be treated the worst, where would Obama fall on that list? Because that guy, I mean, talk about being mistreated and abused and mischaracterized, tan suit gate, please.
Are you talking about Barack Hussein Obama? Yeah. So he's hoping to be number 1 on the list. We'll look for the updated list whenever that comes out. As I exit this segment, I will just tell you that Donald Trump followers, or he's a cult. So here's part of his cult. They're talking at one of his rallies about how much they support Donald Trump.
What don't you understand? Russia is with us. They're with Trump.
Russia is with us?
Russia is with Trump.
Russia's not with the USA. One of their main goals is to destabilize.
Putin is with Trump. I guarantee it.
That's not the flex you think it is, though. Putin is a bad faith actor who has imperial ambitions.
Well, why does Trump get along with him then? Trump gets along with everybody. North Korea, everybody. Everybody likes Trump.
Yeah, that's something to think about. I stand with Ukraine. I'm a big Ukraine supporter.
I can't. The corruption that's been there for years and years and years and years, I can't stand with it.
They're very corrupt, but a lot of that corruption is a function of Russian authoritarianism on their border.
Installing the corruption, basically.
Sure, agreed. I'll agree with that as well.
Us, it's more Russia. Russia's right on their border, and they install puppets.
We did. They were trying to get things in order, and then we stepped in.
These are people that think that, Trump made an ally here with Putin and Russia. Russia is for the United States of America. Are you fucking kidding me?
I think it's hilarious that they have no self-awareness that, why does Trump get along so well with authoritarians? But, the leaders of Germany, France, every, civilized modern country, he doesn't get along very well with them at all.
No, it doesn't get along with anyone that has any reason or, intelligence. Well, I shouldn't say that. I mean, I guess Putin's very smart.
No,
he just
some
uses
ways,
it for evil.
No, he's just a murderous KGB thug who has installed himself as president for life, is what it is. And obviously,
and he's manipulating Trump.
Well, no, he's not manipulating him. He's just telling him what he needs to do because he's a compromise on Trump. That's what it is.
Well, yeah, and I would say that's manipulation. He's stroking Trump's ego. He's setting him up to, to support the war in Ukraine. It's so transparent.
All right. Well, we wrap it up like a penis that goes in and slips into a vagina. We are the Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve, Brewski, and you can see our webpage, thevocalminority.net, right?
Indeed. Find us on all the socials, including Reddit. We're there if you can find us.
All right, Brewski.
Yes, goodbye.
And we say bye-bye.
Test 1 2, test 1 2.
Check. Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve.
Nick Reynolds, Steve Harness, and Cousin Brewski. The Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve.
Take one.
Testing.